Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here is my watch list for January 4th, 2019. Wow, it's going to take me a while to get used to the new year, eh? Anyways, as you can see, the futures here, we are gapping up a little bit. Right now, I am looking at this line right here. So let me draw it out for you real quick. Tomorrow I am looking for a pop and drop kind of play. 2477 area right here. The reason why I picked this area, it's basically prior support over here, prior resistance, a lot of support here, a lot of support here as well. Let's zoom out a little bit more. And you can see we have resistance, and support. 2477. That relates to the SPY. Zoom in a little bit. The SPY at around this area here. Let me enlarge this so you guys can see. Change the color to red. That relates to the SPY at around the 248 area. So around this area right here. Okay, so I'll be watching this area, 248.31, 248, which is the 9 EMA on the SPY. All right, as well as the opening price of today. Market's gapping up a little bit. I do anticipate a gap up right back into this 248, maybe a little bit of run, gap up into the 247, and a little bit of run into the morning, and then top out at 248 and come right back down and sell off. Tomorrow is Friday. I think as it sells off, I'm not sure if it's going to bounce here at the lows of today. It might not. Yeah, just keep it at that. So a pop and drop, and then from here we'll have to see whether it goes lower or bounce up, right? I am looking for the down move, so I'm looking for the drop after the initial pop. Okay, so with that said, let's get into some tickers. Tonight, I have found a lot of plays, literally a lot. Everything is in play. So let's try to whittle it down for you. I have 9 tickers, but I don't think I'm going to give out all 9 tickers. I'm just going to name them and type them out in my video link description here. I'll just give you my main watches. So first up, we have Weight Watchers, right? WTW. Looking at this came off my daily red scan. And looking at this price action here on the daily chart, this looks like a bear flag or a continuation down. It literally just snapped support here. And it looks like it's going to have another down day. Today, it's down about 8%. So the SSR is still not on yet. So I do think there is a potential for another down day. Okay, and if I'm looking for a pop and drop here, I'm going to be looking at supposedly 37, the whole number, but it's too close right now. Ideally, I personally like to watch the 37.65 area, 65 right there, as well as the 38. Here we have a very concise resistance zone. And I'll tell you why I picked this spot. On the daily chart here, let's scroll back a little bit. And as you can see here in August 2017, we have a gap. This is a massive gap up. I am looking for this gap to fill to the downside tomorrow, right? So here's that gap. I'm going to change the property, change the colors a little bit. Okay, so I'm expecting a gap fill. So a pop into this resistance area and then fill the gap, come all the way down. This looks very juicy to me. I'm looking at this green candle. The low of this green candle is 37.65, and the opening of this candle is 38. So basically, the resistance zone I'm picking is this area of the wick right here. And I want to see this part reject. Okay, so anywhere around here, as long as it stays under it, I think Weight Watchers is gonna dump. Okay, it's gonna pop up, test, and then dump, and then my ideal target is $34, but of course I'll be paying myself at every big wash. Okay, that's Weight Watchers. Next up, we have OLED, which is another one of my main watch. OLED sold off a lot today. I'm watching for pop and drop. So basically a pop into this 81 area. Okay, as you can see is the 50 EMA on the 5-minute chart. Okay, 81 is also very near this 200 SMA on the daily. And I will also be watching 82 as well, depending on how high it flies tomorrow on the gap up. Okay, so the reason why I pick 82 is closer. It's $2 away, right? So it still has a long ways to go to pop up. However, I like 82 because of this little bounce right here, right? So yeah, this was the early morning dip lows, and then it snapped, and then eventually late day it cracked again, and then we have prior support now becomes resistance, $81 and $82. That's the two resistance area I'll be looking at. Scrolling back just a tad bit here, you can see on the daily chart we have major support. All right, let's come in a little bit closer on the daily chart. Ideally, this is the first target, 78.75. I think it has more room to come down. Zooming out a bit once again, as you can see, we have a major support area right at the 78.75 area here. So you can see right here. Okay. So this is an ideal target, 79 to 78.75. If it gaps down even more tomorrow, watch for it. We are really close. We are really close to it. So watch for it to snap, and then you can short. There is nothing much holding it up until the 75 mark. So there's 3 points down if it's weak. If it gaps up, and you would short around, you would look for the short signal around here at the 82, right? However, if it gaps down, I'm going to look for a pop back up into this 78, 75 area or 79 area, and then hammer it down. And that's my plan on OLED. Now, OLED is the reason why it tanks so much. They are a supplier of Apple. And as we all know, Apple dropped a lot today. Before we go there, though, next up, I have ROKU. I always like watching ROKU. Very concise support and resistance. I am watching for pop and drop, looking at this 3050 area to 3060. Okay, so let's mark these off right here. We have a very concise resistance zone right here. Okay, so looking for a gap up, a little pop and drop. See all this resistance here on this day, all right? Yeah, definitely gonna watch this area right here. Look for the short signal. Hey, we might get as high as this area, the 31, or back up to the 31s. Who knows, right? But I highly doubt it. We'll see. We'll see how far the gap up takes us, right? The reason why I like ROKU, it's this daily chart to me looks like a start of a bear flag, right? It looks like the massive down leg is coming. So I think we should get another leg down, and my target is 28. Okay, so that's ROKU. We have to talk about Apple because Apple was the key player today. Come on, change. On Apple, there's a few resistance points I'm looking at. Apple is on SSR, so got to be very careful while shorting this. The big thing about SSR is that you can't afford to short weakness, because as weakness holds or as support holds, all the short sellers in here will cover if it doesn't snap. So for example, this area right here, the 143, right? As you can see, 143 was support, and it held so many times. This is where all the short sellers covered, right? You can see all the bounces here. So tomorrow, as the stock comes down even more, or if it starts holding support for a long while, you got to be really careful if you're already short. I wouldn't want to short on support because it is on SSR. Take every opportunity of a pop to as like a short opportunity to get in, and that's actually exactly how I got into Apple today. But with that said, a lot of short sellers are in this stock right now, right? And they have not covered yet. I don't see any massive covers. So if this thing doesn't come down more, then we could get consensual cover. Everybody covers, and then we should see a short squeeze. And then we get the eternal bulls, the eternal long bias guys. They're gonna think the dip is in, and they're gonna try to buy it. Personally, I like Apple to see 140 first, and if 140 snaps, even better. But 140 first before anything else. I like to see a pop and drop tomorrow. I am looking at 143.35 to be very precise. So why did I pick that? Because of this massive green candle, late day. Okay, and if we gap up, if we pop into this, we don't get a seller signal. If it squeezes over, then I'll be watching the squeeze to end at 144.50. Right around this area here. Okay. Personally, I don't think it can get back up there. I don't know, but my opinion doesn't matter. We'll really have to watch the price action. Okay. 143.35 key resistance area, prior support. Okay. This is also the line in the sand for the shorts, maybe even 143. All the short sellers, if the stock gets back up to 143 and starts holding, they will cover and cause this thing to squeeze. All right. Apple has sold off a lot. It might or might not have another leg down. I personally am banking for another leg down. So I'm going to look for the pop up and hammer it back down. AAPL. Next up, we have BMI, Bristol Myers Squibb. Bristol Myers Squibb, they put out news today on an acquisition. They are buying CELG, another massive company in oncology, and it's basically they're trying to monopolize the oncology sector or the whole area of oncology drugs, right? What I want to see tomorrow, and you might think that acquisitions like one big company buying another big company, that would be good news. But I mean, it's not up to us to judge the news. It's up to the market reaction. And obviously, the market reaction is that they don't like it. They don't like it. Okay, plain and simple. Right. I want you guys to notice this volume traded 80 million shares today. Holy crap. Scrolling back, it never traded that many shares. The last time I traded that many shares, it was January in 2017. I actually haven't even looked at this yet. Let's take a look at it, what happened. Okay, so last time it did this. The next day, it gapped up a little bit, dipped, and ran. Okay. So if I was going on a thesis tomorrow, I like to see it follow the same pattern, gap up a little bit, dip and hold support and run. Where's that gap up going to go? I am going to look for 46 and 47 in my notes. Okay, so here's that 46. Here's that 47. Okay. And then we have support obviously at the 44, 45 area. I'm going to call it 44. I mean, if we're going to gap up, dip, hold, and run, then I'll be looking for a double bottom here at the 44, right? The reason why I picked 46 and 47 47. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Here's that 46 mark. Okay, you draw a horizontal line across. Very concise. Prior support now becomes resistance. Okay, if it does get back above and over, then 47 would be the next key mark here. The reason why I picked 47, plain and simple, this little hilltop right here, right? As this snaps, as the 47 snap, this is where basically everything let go. Okay, so I want to look at that on the 5-minute chart as well. Yeah, so you see how 47 held some support on the 5-minute chart, and then basically it just snapped, tested, and failed from here. So this is why I picked 47. 47 is also the low of this green candle right here, the wick. Okay, this is also 47. So very key resistance area right here. Scrolling back a little bit, 46 is this little bit. So this wick right here on the daily chart, that's also why it makes it a resistance point. Okay, and that's also why I picked it. Very plain and simple. I'm looking for another leg down. But again, I talked about SSR, and this thing is on SSR, so got to be careful about that. Wait, is it on SSR? Let me check real quick on FinViz for us here real quick. Give me a sec. BMY. It is on SSR. So today it's down 14%. Okay, so just talked about SSR earlier. You'll know what to look for. And finally, we have CELG. This is CELG. This is the company that Bristol Myers Squibb bought. Okay, so once they got the news of the acquisition, basically the stock shot up huge, and essentially it's super overextended, right? So whoever bought here or whoever's holding the bag around this area, they're looking to sell. This is finally their chance to sell, right? Whoever bought here hit the jackpot, hence they sold as well, and that's why the stock basically lost a lot of their gains. Now what I'm looking for right here tomorrow is the 82, a pop and drop from the 82. Okay, this stock has an average true range of $3.94, I believe. So let me check this right real quick. CELG, check that on FinViz. Average true range $3.94. Okay, the stock closed really weak. I do think it has potential to come down even more because it is still very overextended. I want you guys to mark off the 80 mark real quick. I'm gonna mark that off. Right, this is key psychological whole number and key support. As you can see, it held right here after hours. I am looking for a gap up and drop or pop and drop because these short sellers have not covered yet. Okay, so if it doesn't get under the 80 mark, then these short sellers will take some profits and cover. The reason why I picked 82 is because it's the 200 SMA. Okay. So that's a key area. I'll be watching for a short signal or for a sell-off from there. And if that breaks out and over, I'm just going to let it run and watch for a rejection signal at 84, which was today's VWAP. And 84 is also a key mark here on the daily chart. That's 84 right here. Okay. So 2 resistance mark I'm looking for. 1 support area. I'm looking for the support to snap, fail, bring it all the way down to this 7650 area, right? There's a lot of room for it to come down still. There's a major gap that needs to fill, and it is overextended. So that's what I'll be looking for in CELG, another one of my main watches. So far, I have 5 tickers for you, and these will be on my main watches. Actually, 6 tickers for you. Okay. I'm just going to really quickly go through the other ones. So I have NVDA. NVDA, as you can see, all these tickers that I pick on daily charts, they show the same pattern, right? A pop and drop here would be ideal. I do think it does have a second leg coming down. I'm looking at a pop back up to yesterday's lows, so 130 key psychological whole number, okay, and then a drop. We have Facebook, same kind of daily chart here. A pop and drop. 9 EMA is at 133, so I'll be looking at the 133 here. 133, 133.50. Yeah, I'll be looking at that. A pop and a drop from there. And then we have AMD. AMD, I'll be looking at 1740 to be very, very precise. So mark that off here. As you can see, once again, the daily chart shows the same kind of pattern. If I scroll out a little bit, you'll see the same pattern. 1740 is basically the opening of this green candle, right? There's this one very distinct candle that protruded out of the trend, right? So I'll be looking for a pop and drop from here and bring it right back down to 1625. Okay, so that's my watch list this evening. If you guys enjoy what you watch, you enjoy my analysis, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. If you have any questions, make sure you write it down in the comments. I do read all my comments. And also check out the links in my video, the video links. Those are very important as well. It can answer a lot of questions that have already been asked. And if you haven't already checked out my watch list from last night, I hit 4 for 4 on that watch list, kind of redeemed myself from New Year's Day. Basically, New Year's Day was a total mess, right? I mean, a lot of traders got caught in that massive gap down, thinking that that gap down would incite panic. Nobody actually saw the gap fill coming up. So I botched that watch list. But yesterday, I redeemed myself. So check that out and have a great evening. I'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Ciao.